Recettear, an item shop's tale, is a 2D isometric merchant simulator. The game involves buying, selling, and procuring goods. But what if we weren't able to procure goods? Can you beat Recettear, an item shop's tale, without using the Adventurers Guild? What you see now is footage you'll never see again in this video. The idea behind the Adventurers Guild is that you can obtain companions who will explore with you, and you play as the companions in order to gain up to 20 items for every time you visit dungeons. With that in mind, let's begin with a basic outline of the story. You play as Recette, a young girl who's forced to confront a loan shark after her father gets himself into a mountain of debt, then leaves the house when he realises that they are all out of milk. On day 1, we interact with Tyr, the loan shark, who some may call a fairy, but that's only because she has wings and is very small. It's rather ironic that the game's currency is referred to as Pix. Maybe she's just holding a grudge that the money isn't called fair, or something akin. She then teaches us how to sell goods to customers, which the system acts as a bartering system. All items have a base selling price, which you can then flexibly adjust your prices of which you sell the current item at. Unfortunately, for the most part, if you try to sell items at anything above 115% of their base selling price, most of the residents will see it as an insult and would rather cut off their pinky and hand it to you directly, as opposed to give you the additional picks. With that, the entire day 1 is entirely wasted after selling the one piece of bread from the guildmaster. The next day begins with opening the shop to try to sell items to the townspeople. The more people that stop by, and the more successful transactions that you can get in a row, will earn you additional merchant experience, which allows you to level up, which, amongst other things, will allow you to buy items off other people. You'll be able to take orders for items in advance, and, most importantly, as extra items of higher quality available from the market and the guildmaster to be available for purchase. From here, we'll then use the money we earned in the first phase of the day to go to the market and guildmaster to stock back up on items. As each day has 4 phases within it, and we cannot use the Adventurers Guild to get more items than we should have, we'll have to be very sparing with the money we earn to get as much out of it as possible. At this point, it will be necessary to carefully plan buying and selling phases, as each in-game week adds incremental debt for you to pay off, starting at a 10,000 pix payment to the final one of 500,000. The next few days were played out just like the last, earning more money and items to prepare myself for the inevitable first hurdle of the first loan repayment. The plan is to increase friendship with the different shoppers. A happy wallet is a bigger wallet. You don't have to forcibly reach inside people to grab their heart if they're willing to just give it to you after all. But eventually, the time had come. With 881 picks in the treasury and a fair handful of items in tow, I was prepared to gain the extra money I'd need to repay the first 10,000 of the loan. The time may be tight, but I was willing to give it a shot. The plan was one final set of purchases in order to propel me over the first finish line and be clear until the second week, which asks for 30,000 of the debt to subsequently be paid off. All it would take was some good luck on the selling phases, and I'd have this done easily with no problems at all. Okay, so admittedly the first attempt did not go too smoothly. The game does feature a mechanic where if you're unable to pay off the debt, you can go back to the start with the items you currently have to try again at square one. But I felt this would, of course, break the spirit of the challenge. My intention was to do this all in one go, so I tried again and again. I tried different strategies, from buying a few high ticket items to a lot of small cheap items. Attempt after attempt ended up to be as fruitless as the next, until finally an amazing run where special events transpired which increased the prices of both weapons and armour. And this lasted for several days. I grabbed as many daggers and longswords as Recettear and Tyr would be able to carry, so probably no more than one, and proceeded to go on a sheer selling spree. Prophet's sword, and this gave me the influx of picks that my previous attempts had very clearly been very starved of. I then proceeded to do something that any sane rich person would do, and stock a vending machine with vending machines. With my newly acquired vending machine, or would it be vending machine, and my accumulated stockpile of all the resources I'd need to complete the next line, I continued to become the town's newest mogul, despite never updating the appearance of the shop. Who needs new walls, new carpets, or flooring, when you can have more money? Sure, there are a couple expansions along the way, but that only served the purpose of more window space, and being able to evict the neighbours for my own personal gain. I was able to display more items to my heart's content. After paying off the 200,000 pix debt, I realised I was just over 200,000 more off from finalising my dad's loan. I pulled it off aplomb, only needing a couple more selling phases to complete my goal. I even started to become a bit more charitable towards my patrons that day, then realised something. It's been 4 weeks solid. Surely Recettear deserves a break too? My own experiences in retail resonated at this point, so I formed my own union, took action against my employer, and proceeded to give Recettear the rest of the week off.
こんなものでしょうね。今日は返済日です。大事におめでとうございます。これで借金はすべて返済完了です。頑張りましたね。
And with that, I had beaten Recettear, an item shop's tale, without the use of the Adventurers Guild.